Hey guys, before we start this video, I want to apologize for the last video. I did give you guys some incorrect information. I'm human just like you, so I can be imperfect. I have mistakes be brought to me and delivered to you guys, unfortunately. But there's two main things that I got wrong. First off, let's start off with the graphics card. So I said there was Radeon, Ryzen, and then NVIDIA graphics card, when in reality there's only Radeon and NVIDIA. So the Ryzen AMD is actually a CPU, not a GPU. So the second thing is the SSD, or the solid state drive. So the solid state drive is actually internal flash memory system that helps read large files. It helps review the videos and or animations that you create. So I do apologize, it's not the download speed of anything, which I know I said that in the last video, but it's not. So I do apologize. Now let's get right to the video. So since you guys enjoyed the last video, today's video I'm going to be going over the customizable portion of the Digital Storm Lynx. Now this has 4 different options, of which they range from $1,800 all the way up to $2,500. So the price points compared to last video, when they only were $1,500 as a max and a low of $999, or roughly $1,000. This video is going to get a lot more expensive, but I do have some really promising information for you guys, and I think you guys are honestly going to enjoy this video a lot more than the last one. Alright, so we are on the screen where it has the 4 different options that you can pick in customizing the Digital Storm Lynx gaming PC. So first one, we have the Ryzen AMD series. It's a little over $1,800, and then we have an Intel Core i7 10th gen for a little over $1,800, but it's literally $5 less than the first one. I just also want to mention that all of these PCs, not only the same 2 terabyte hard drive storage, but also have the 500 gigabyte solid state drive, and also have the Windows 10 security and antivirus together. So the only difference between all 4 of these is really like the CPU and the GPU. So to start off with the first one, the Ryzen AMD series at $1,838. It's got the AMD Ryzen 7 3800X CPU. So actually, believe it or not, I have an Intel Core i7 9700K, and this guy runs better than my CPU right now. This will run not only a better DDR4 memory capacity, so this one will run 3200 versus a 9700K from Intel will run 2933 roughly, and this one can handle more gigahertz. So the Intel Core i7 9700K will run about 3.8 gigahertz, and then this AMD Ryzen 7 3800X will run about 4.65 gigahertz, which is a fair difference considering PC electrostatic capabilities. All of these PCs here are 100% gaming PCs. Like this is what a gaming PC looks like and is. Now it's got the NVIDIA RTX 2060. That's a fantastic graphics card. I mean, it's got the ray tracing, which is the RTX, 6 gigabyte. Fantastic. 16 gigabytes of DDR4 memory. That is unfortunately the average of what the gaming PCs are. It's good. I mean, 32 gigabyte DDR4 RAM would be 100 times better, but I don't want to spend another $400 on it. For starters, yeah, it's 16 gigabytes is good. 500 gigabytes of solid state drive. Again, that's average. 2 terabytes of the hard drive storage. You're good for that. I mean, that's universal, and I think the Digital Storm Lynx. I don't know about the other ones. So now we go to the Intel Core i7 10th gen. This is for $1,833, $5 less than the other one. So believe it or not, the difference between these two is actually insane, because you're paying less for the second one versus the first one. But the Intel Core i7 10700K actually will run better and smoother than the Ryzen 7 3800X over here, only by a little bit. It's just a matter of what you're trying to do. So for instance, video making, animations, playbacks, and it's just really anything that is heavy. I mean, I would go with Ryzen, and Ryzen's a good CPU. They really are. It's just a matter of what you're doing at this point. I can't really tell you which one's better. I personally would go with the second one, just because it's $5 less and the CPU's better, and it literally has the exact same components as the first one. So now we move on to the Ryzen AMD series. This is the 3rd most expensive at $2,519. So this is where you're getting into your more serious PC build. So it's got the AMD Ryzen 9 3900X. So what this CPU actually will do, it's actually better than the Core i9 from Intel 9900K. So believe it or not, this one will actually produce a better frequency and better boost as well as the DDR4 memory flash. Long story short is that the difference between the Ryzen AMD series and the Intel Core 10th gen, that's the most expensive here, they're literally going to be the same exact comparison as the first two, just more expensive and have a better CPU and GPU. This guy here, the 2500, the NVIDIA RTX 2070 8GB, that's actually the same graphics card that I have. This has a 32GB DDR4 memory. That's where you're wanting to get to, and within your DDR4 memory. That's gonna make your computer run smooth, fast, and be reliable. And this is why I recommend building a PC, because within these pre-builds is that you can't physically choose what you want in your PC. You go with what they offer, and that's it. This has 500GB of M2 SSD. Again, good SSD, the average. A 2TB of the hard drive, same as the other two. Windows 10. Perfect. Now we go to the Intel Core i9 10th gen, $2,488. This has the Intel Core i9 10900K. So again, it's got the same type of mechanics in it as the other one. It's whatever you're trying to do with your PC. Like I said, again, the video making, animation, any type you're really trying to do. And I know I'm saying video and animation when I'm saying gaming PC, but people don't use gaming PCs just for gaming. And you have to be aware of that. For what I would do, just like video and animation, I would do the Intel Core i9. They're all good PCs. Again, it's what you want to do. You know, it's quite interesting to see how they've transformed the Lynx, because I know I said in last video how the different models were just like, I just personally didn't like either of them. They just suck. The other ones are just, they're not good for a starter. I'm sorry. You were better off building your own PC at that point. Hey guys, I did forget to mention one thing. I think you guys are already aware of this. If you order any pre-built computer from a pre-built company, then you're gonna be paying an excessive amount for the PC with the components that are in it. Because I'm sure well aware that most of you do some research before actually just flat out purchasing a computer that's a couple $1,000s. So you're gonna see that some of the same components that you could put with the one that you might build, which I highly recommend building because I've said it multiple times, and that route's just amazing. It's fun and you get a better PC out of it. Those parts that you put in are usually, it comes out cheaper. You either have pre-build, which is where you don't have to do anything, you just receive the PC, yahoo, or you'd have a custom built where you build it yourself, take a little bit of time, learn some new things, and be like, wow, this was so much better. Now keep in mind, if you do go the route of building a PC yourself to something of what the video's components were of, such as the NVIDIA RTX 2060 or 2070, 16GB or 32GB of RAM, or even the motherboards that were there, you gotta understand that they have to be compatible with each other. So it's not like you could just put the AMD Ryzen 9 3900X with a so on and so forth, I don't know, like another brand that maybe doesn't match. You just can't do that. You have to make sure they're compatible and that the power supply is able to produce that amount of energy and electricity towards the motherboard to be able to produce the gigahertz that it needs to produce in order for everything to be working. So just be aware of that. So guys, do me a favor, if you like this video, please smash that like button. And if you want me to literally review anything more within Digital Storm, or maybe you want me to focus on another brand such as NZXT or CyberPower or iBuyPower, any PCs whatsoever, if you want me to review them, let me know. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for the support. I love you guys. Subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.